All right, guys, who's ready to talk about some night vision? Let's go. All right, my introduction to night vision. I got to give a shout out to Laner. He got into it, and then I put his set on, and it was completely amazing, and it was life-changing for me. So I automatically, at that point right there, thought I have to have it. If you haven't went outside in the dark in night vision and looked at the stars, I know that's kind of corny, but it's amazing. It's really awesome. My introduction to night vision and what all I went with and what company I went with to install the tubes and to basically giving me this turnkey package for what you see right here. So let's start with the helmet. First, I went with the Team Wendy bump helmet. It seemed the most versatile at the time. It's got the mount for the G24. You got the adjustable straps for your chin. And another thing I did do is I did get the large to extra large, and that was a mistake. I thought I had a bigger head than what I actually had. So I had to call my boy Chris up from Advanced Night Vision and be like, "Hey man, this doesn't fit me. I thought I was bigger than I thought I was bigger than what I was." That's what she said. But I wasn't. I was a medium to large helmet, which fits me perfect. I should have just went with that in the first place, but I didn't. And I went by the specs on the actual website of Team Wendy, and I measured my head out with a tape measure. And well, actually, it was a clothing measure because obviously you have to get around your whole head, and it measured to the large to extra large. Now I don't know if I was measuring right or what, but what I would do personally is I would get into a group or ask somebody, because usually when you get into night vision, you don't get in it by yourself. You usually have people that are getting in it with you or are already in it. Ask to try theirs on. Ask to try their medium and large. You get one of them and you'll figure out what size you are, especially if they have night vision, your tubes and your housing already on it, or not your housing, but their housing. Then it can match up. What was happening with me is with the large and extra large, the tubes were coming down too far because the helmet set too far on my forehead, too far down on my forehead. So the tubes wasn't lining up even with the adjustable. The G24 from Wilcox, the mount does have an adjustment to go up and down, but I already had it to the highest point and it still wasn't meeting my eye level. So at that point, you know exactly that, hey, this is the wrong size helmet. And also, I put it on, tightened up I think these are called constrictor or something like that, boa constrictor, tighteners, or I don't know. I'll put the link down in the description. I'll also put the link down to everything. So, Team Wendy helmet, bump helmet. It is not ballistic rated. I will get one of those in the future, but right now, I'm just getting into it. I just want to get the feel for night vision and really get my feet wet, I guess I should say. As you already know, I did go with the G24 mount. It is pretty awesome how it does flip down. You have this button right here on the side that you push in, you can lift up. Really, really easy. And there is a lot of adjustments on it. Like I said, there's this lever on the end that you can lift up where you can adjust down the mount where it meets your eye level, or you can go up on the mount and then lock it in, as well as far how far the night vision is away from your actual eyes. Because as everybody who's already in night vision knows, it's hard to get peripheral vision when you have your night vision's down. So you don't want to keep them right up onto your eyes, because you do want to, in a circumstance where you have close quarter combat or something like that, you can look underneath the nods and see your surroundings, or when you're doing a reload. Now, as far as the housing, I went with the Argus bnvd 1431s. There's a few reasons I went with these. The first reason is they are completely adjustable, where you can set it to your iframe, tighten down the adjustable set screws, and then when you articulate them up, because these are articulating, a lot of housings are not, where you can articulate them up like that, you won't lose the spot. It will go down to the same exact spot every single time, right? So you can really hone it in on your personal settings. Also, it supports a Fisher connecting system for the battery pack, so you can really run any battery pack with that kind of connection and it will work. So with this battery pack, you get about, this is the Argus battery pack. You got, like, I want to say four AA batteries in it. Yeah, 4 AA batteries, which one battery on these will run you about 24 hours. They do have a battery spot on board for a AA battery right here. Also with this housing, you get an illuminator, which is really, really awesome. I had my wife try them on, and we went into the bathroom together, where obviously it's super dark, no lights. And if you ran Elbit tubes, they are pixelated. Really, all the tubes are pixelated. When you have zero light, zero moonlight, zero nothing, zero light, they are pixelated. But as soon as you turn on that illuminator, it's gonna brighten up and it looks like daytime, which is pretty awesome. And she was amazed. Maybe not as much as me, but hey, what can I do? I was just happy that she tried it. So I also read up on the adjustable irises on the night vision. They sell a couple different versions of these adjustable irises, and they are so expensive, like $250 per iris, per tube, which is so dang crazy to me. I looked for compatible options that I can go for that wasn't so expensive, and I did stumble upon some on Amazon that looked to be pretty nice in quality and seemed to be very well made. I did get them in the other day. They come with caps, and they come with a sacrificial lens on it with the iris that you can adjust, open and close. It's really nice. When you're running nods, now I am completely new to this, but I did go out the other night. I've put on 2 sets of binos, as they call it. So the adjustable iris is pretty awesome, because you can pretty much focus pretty quickly when you're closing off that iris. It does focus quickly when you're looking at something super close up front, which is nice. It's a really fast adjustable mechanism. This is my setup right now. Like I said, I'm completely new to it. I did end up going with Advanced Night Vision. They are local to me in Northport, Florida, which has made it so amazing. I talked to them maybe 2 or 3 days before I actually got the binos from him. He is one of the biggest retailers of night vision in the country, which is amazing that he's living here in Northport. What's the chances of me meeting somebody in Northport, where I live, and him being right down the street? I mean, it's really, it blows my mind to even think about it. But the way he got back to me, and the way he talked me through the whole purchase process, and went over spec sheets and what I need to look for, and how I need to worry about the signal to noise ratio. That's the biggest ratio that you should really look for when you're buying tubes, is what he's told me. And what I've looked up. I mean, I've done some research of my own, and everything he was saying was matching up with pretty much everything everybody else was saying. It was a very pleasant experience, and Chris, I really do thank you for that. Also, I got to give a shout out to JR. He's the one that got me in contact with Chris. He's one of my buddies. I met him on Instagram, and he ended up living in Northport, which is, it's a small world. It's a small world. But that's how I ended up with these. As far as the tube goes, I did go with Elbit. Why I went with Elbit? Because price, clarity, and that's pretty much it, to be honest. L3s are probably better tubes, but you're going to spend a lot, not a lot more, but a pretty good amount more for L3 tubes, which I'm just starting, so I had to buy pretty much everything. Now, let's say in the future I want to get new tubes, something a little bit more high spec, then I can go with L3. But in this circumstance, I don't think I needed L3 right now, because I'm not in a super dark area to where like I'm out in the country somewhere where I need something that's going to perform well, like stupid well, with no light at all. So it didn't make sense for me to spend the money right now when I'm just getting into it, just getting started, and I had to buy everything to get started, like the helmet, the mount, the housing. The housing is a big thing. The housing costs a lot of money, but the tubes is what you're going to spend the most on, because that's the bread and butter, right? That's the heart of the system. That's everything. If you don't have tubes, then you just have a housing, right? You're just looking through nothing but glass at that point. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here, do an introduction to night vision, and I wanted to go throughout my stages in owning night vision. I will be doing some content here soon that I think everyone will like, because I don't see too much content, like quality content with night vision, because it's hard to get quality video at night. It just is. But I will be trying to do that as much as I can. Again, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I know this wasn't going to be a super long video today, but I did want to go over what I bought and why I bought it. Share my thoughts of how the experience was and how pleasant it was. If you can, like, subscribe, comment. It will help this channel out a lot. New videos are to come. And like always, train hard, father harder.